Hello everyone, in my last video we have discussed some problem and the applications related to your coordinate geometry. Today in this video I'll be doing some more application related to your same chapter, that is coordinate geometry. So as you can see, suppose, let me just explain you, suppose what happens is that suppose 4 points are given out here. 1 point is A, 1 point is B, 1 point is C, 1 point is D. You join it. When you join it, it will be a what? What will be formed? A quadrilateral will be formed. So when a quadrilateral is formed, now they can ask you the question whether this quadrilateral is a square, it is a rhombus, it is a rectangle, or it is a parallelogram. Suppose these are the 4 points when you join, a quadrilateral is formed. So out here in this quadrilateral, if I ask you whether the given quadrilateral is a square, if it is a square, then what is the condition? The condition is that all the sides has to be equal. So as you can see here, AB must be equal to BC, equal to CD, equal to DA. Okay, all the sides. This represents what? This represents your sides. All the sides has to be equal. And what about your diagonal? When you join like this, you got the diagonal. When you join like this, you got the diagonal. Even the diagonal has to be equal. Even the diagonal has to be equal. That is for your rhombus. If I ask you whether it forms a, that is for the square. Now, if I ask you whether the 4 points represent the vertices of a rhombus, then how you are going to do? You just need to calculate the length of each sides. Okay, all the 4 sides you have to calculate. If they are equal, then it represents your rhombus. Then next, rectangle. Rectangle, what you know, opposite sides are equal. So your AB must be equal to CD, or you can say DC. These are the opposite sides, it must be equal. And these are the opposite sides, it must be equal. I have written it here, as you can see. And what about the diagonal? Diagonals are also equal in case of your rectangle. When the diagonals are equal and even the opposite sides are also equal, then you can say it form what? It form your rectangle. Now suppose if I ask you whether it form a parallelogram or not. For the parallelogram, what you know? Only you check only the opposite sides, whether they are equal or not. Okay? So you will be checking the opposite sides whether they are equal or not. These are the basic concept. They can ask you any questions from here. So I have taken one number. I have taken one number, as you can see here. Show that the following points. Show that the following points are the vertices of a square digit. Okay? In the exam, they can ask you whether it is a rhombus, are the vertices of a rhombus, are the vertices of a rectangle, or are the vertices of a parallelogram. But here it is given to be a square, and your 4 points are given. This is the first point, second point, third point, and fourth point. So let us come to the solution of this. So solution, you start. Given points are, you write down your given points. Your given points are, what is the first point? First point you take it as 5, 6. You represent then that point, that particular point by A, capital A. Capital A, 5, 6. Then B will be how much? 1, 5. C will be 2, 1. And finally the last point will be D. D will be what? 6, 2. If you want, you can draw the figure like this. Okay? If you want, you can draw the figure like this also. Now, what you have to do, I have to identify whether these vertices are these points are the vertices of a square or not. So the square has come, and what you know about the square? You see here, for the square, all the sides, all the 4 sides has to be equal. Okay, and even the diagonal has to be equal. So how to calculate the length of the sides? You use your distance formula. So let me calculate my AB first. So let us calculate AB. AB is equal to how much? Coordinate of B minus coordinate of A. So 1 minus 5 whole thing is square, plus 5 minus 6 whole thing is square. So how much you are going to get? So 1 minus 5 is minus 4 whole thing square. Then 5 minus 6 is how much? Minus 1 whole thing square. So how much you are going to get? Let's see. 4 square is how much? 4 square is 16. 16 plus 1. 16 plus 1 you got root over 17. You got root over 17. That is the first length. That means you have calculated AB. Now you do what? BC, the second length you do. So let us do it. BC. When you do BC, how much you are going to get? BC. So coordinate of C minus coordinate of B. So 2 minus 1. It will become 2 minus 1 whole thing square. Then 1 minus 5. 1 minus 5 whole thing square. So how much you are going to get? Let's do the calculation. 2 minus 1 is 1. 1 square. 1 minus 5 is how much? Minus 4 square. And how much is that? 1 square is 1. 4 square is minus 4 square is 16. So you got it as square root of 17. As you can notice here, the first side is square root of 17. Even the second side is what? Is square root of 17. Let us do the third side. Third side is what? You can do CD or you can do what? Or you can do DC. It is same. So let us do CD. CD is equal to how much? Again you do it same way. So CD. So coordinate of D minus coordinate of C. 6 minus 2. 6 minus 2 whole thing square. Then 2 minus 1 whole thing square. 2 minus 1 whole thing square. So how much you are going to get? Let us do the simplification. 6 minus 2 will be 4. It will be 4 square plus 1 square. So you got 16 plus 1. Again this is root over 17. You finished to calculate the third side. Now let us do the last side, that is your DA. DA or AD? It is same only, okay? So let us do it DA. Your DA will be how much? DA will become, so when you do DA, coordinate of A minus coordinate of D. So 5 minus 6. It will become 5 minus 6 whole thing square. Then 6 minus 2 whole thing square. So how much you are going to get? Let's see. 5 minus 2. What is your 5 minus 2? 5 minus 2 will become how much? Minus 1 whole thing square, then 4 square. So it will become how much? Minus 1 square is 1. 1 plus 16. Again you got root over 17. So as you can see, I finished to calculate all the 4 sides. Now next, what I have to do? I have to calculate the diagonal. Okay? I have to calculate the diagonal of this square. So what are the diagonals? AC and BD. So you calculate your AC. So when you calculate your AC, how much you are going to get? AC, look here, A and C. So coordinate of C minus coordinate of A. So it will be what? Root over, you do coordinate of C minus coordinate. So it will become 2 minus 5. 2 minus 5 whole thing square. Then 1 minus 6 whole thing square. So how much you are going to get? Let's see. 2 minus 5. 2 minus 5 will become minus 3 whole thing square. Then 1 minus 5 will become, 1 minus 6 will become minus 5 whole thing square. So how much is that? Okay, minus 3 square will be 9. So 9 plus 25. So it will become how much? Root over 34. This represents your diagonal. Okay, keep that in your mind. This represents your diagonal, the fifth value. Then similarly you do your BD or DB, same only. So let us try to calculate your BD. So what will be your BD? BD will be how much? Root over BD, you see, BD will be this. Consider these 2 points. So BD. So coordinate of D minus coordinate of D, or you can do coordinate of B minus coordinate of D. It is same only. No problem. So BD 6 minus 1. 6 minus 1 whole thing is square. It will be 6 minus 1 whole thing is square. Then 2 minus 5. 2 minus 5 whole thing is square. So how much you are going to get? What is the value of 6 minus 1? Your 6 minus 1 will become 5. 5 square minus 3 square. So how much you got? 25 plus 9. So you got root over 24. Alright. So you finished to calculate all the 4 sides and 2 diagonals. So you can write it down. Therefore, what are your sides? These are equal. These 4 sides are equal. So you can write it down. AB equal to BC equal to CD is equal to D. So AB is equal to BC is equal to CD is equal to D. So this represents your sides. And what about your diagonal? AC is equal to BD. Your AC is equal to BD. Okay, so it has satisfied this condition and this condition. So what you can say, these points are the vertices of a square. So you can write on the conclusion, hence the given points are the vertices of the square. I hope so. This is alright for you. Thus now they can give you the same point and they can ask you whether it is a rhombus or not. So you just have to see the condition. Okay. Then similarly they can ask for your rectangle and parallelogram. And sometimes what happens is that here 4 points are given. Now sometimes what they'll do is that, as you can look here, let me just suppose 3 points are given, A, B and C. Like this. When you join, you are going to get a triangle. This is A, this is B and this is C. Now sometimes 3 points are given and they can ask you whether this triangle is isosceles triangle, equilateral triangle, scalene triangle. Okay, so let me just explain you a little bit about that. If they ask you 3 points, whether it are the vertices, whether those points are the vertices of a equilateral triangle or not. So you will be doing exactly in the same manner. You find out all the 3 sides. Okay, after you find out the sides for equilateral triangle, what you know, all the 3 sides are same. So when AB equal to BC equal to CA, you can say that it represents your equilateral triangle. If they ask you for your isosceles triangle, you just check 2 sides are equal or not. And if they ask you for your scalene triangle, none of the sides are equal. Okay, I hope so. This is alright for you. So I will stop here and we'll meet in the next video.